What's up, YouTube? It is your boy Sha Benji today with the fucking video, bro. Today we got a reaction video, not just a regular reaction video, but we have a political reaction video. I'm not big on politics, but this video seemed interesting to me to react to, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will find interested in as well. Shout out What If and the whole channel itself that make, situations and scenarios of what would happen if the world end up a certain type of way if it wasn't the way it is now. Great channel. I've been watching since I was a kid. Today we have Donald Trump. What if he was assassinated, bro? I do not promote violence. I do not promote negativity. I do not promote any of that. But it is an interesting topic to, see how it unfold, if things will unfold. He is very big in a political run right now against Kamala Harris. So I'm not sure how that's unfolding. Like I told you, I'm not big on politics. So we will see. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys at the end, man. Let's get right into it.
On July 13th, 2024, Donald Trump escaped an attempt on his life. He managed to turn his head at just the right angle so that a bullet shot in his direction grazed his ear rather than hitting him in the head. But what would happen if he didn't turn his head? What if Donald Trump was assassinated that day?
Yeah, I don't, the whole situation is kind of, crazy. I haven't seen an attempt on a president in a long time. Last one I know is really John F. Kennedy. I know it was another person who had an attempt on him. I forgot the name and I forgot the president, but you can provide down the information below on who it was. But yeah, bro, it's real crazy to be, in the position you are, and you got people that don't like the way you do things or handle things, or, downright just don't like you, and, take you out in front of a bunch of people, or just take you out in general is a real crazy thing, bro. Happy he survived. Wish he's in good spirits. And, I don't care how much you don't like a person. I don't wish no negativity on anyone, unless they're, down bad, evil, and things of that nature. So,
Who would replace him? And could this lead to an American Civil War? In this video, we're going to go through multiple scenarios on what would happen if Donald Trump got assassinated. The first one we'll look at is if he actually got shot on July 13th. Now, I need to be clear that at the time of this recording, the assassination attempt is still being investigated, so some details may change, but what we do know is that the shooter came incredibly close.
I know the higher up, the lady of the Secret Service. I saw the video on TikTok, the live recording on TikTok of her in court, going against other, I guess, governments or not governments, but like the higher ups of each state, question her about the presidency's assassination attempt, and yeah, they were real hard on her, bro. Like she was going fucking through it, bro. They were on her ass. I'm not sure who saw it, but Jesus Christ, they was on her ass. She never, throughout the video, I know that she couldn't provide enough answers, and she wasn't giving out enough. And it's like she wasn't standing on a point of, what she did wrong and the call she made and things of that nature. She kept saying she didn't have enough information and, things of that nature, bro. But
another thing that I want to make clear is that I don't wish ill will toward anyone. If you're new to the channel, you should know that we often look at news stories and give our hypothetical take on it. That's all that this is.
Type shit.
In Butler, Pennsylvania, on July 13th, the assassin shot from 140 meters away. Trump had just turned his head a couple of centimeters. If he hadn't have done this, it's very likely that he would have been killed by the bullet. Instead, the shot grazed his ear. If he hadn't been so lucky, we'd be looking at a completely different world today. Donald Trump would be dead. So, what would happen next? One of the most important things that would need to be figured out would be who would take the mantle of the Republican presidential nominee. It all depends on when this happens. The answer can change if it were before the Republican National Convention or after. So, in the case of the July 13th assassination attempt, things would get a little more complicated. Since this event happened right before the Republican National Convention.
Would it be Biden? Or, I know you about to get to the answer, but wouldn't it either Kamala or Biden, right? I mean, Biden dropped out, a week or two after the assassination attempt? So wouldn't it just be fucking Biden?
was set for July 15th, the delegates involved in selecting the Republican presidential nominee would have to move incredibly fast. With little...
Oh, I'm tripping. The next person who will run, that would take its place to run. Okay, my bad, Joe.
Time in between the shooting and the convention, the nominee would likely be decided on the convention floor that night. It would be incredibly messy and frantic. There'd be backroom deals and public speeches from the hopeful nominees. Now, since Trump had no strong opposition during the primaries, almost everyone could be considered. It would be like going back to square one. Even people who didn't run in the primaries could be nominated. This would be a night full of bids for power, and whoever's left standing would be the Republican nominee, who would then run for...
Yo, chat, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have ran, bro. If I would have ran for president... Okay, question is, if you ran for president and you became president or had the opportunity to become president in a situation like this, what would you offer the world? What would you change about the world and the way things is now? Don't say no racist shit. Don't say no fucked up shit. If you ain't got shit to say, that's good, bro. Just keep it to yourself, gang. But chat, if you was on the road becoming the president, what would you change? I don't know what the fuck I would change. I really don't know. I'll probably make homes affordable because where I live at now, it's crazy. It's expensive for rent.
President. Now, there are some other scenarios that we'll get into in a bit, but what might happen outside of politics? Well, the answer to that is a lot more unknown and potentially terrifying.
Watch that, bro.
Donald Trump was seen yelling "fight" after he got shot, and there's a good chance his supporters would do just that. Now, we're not saying everyone, but the extreme fringe of his base might possibly engage. Just look what happened on January 6th, 2021. Trump supporters stormed the United States Capitol building. This was after their emotions were stoked by talk about a stolen election, a claim that was proven to be false. So, what would happen if their leader was assassinated? Well, they'd likely be looking for someone to blame, potentially a group of people or the opposing party. Donald Trump has incredibly passionate supporters, more passionate than what we've seen from almost any other political figure in the past. There's a good chance there could be outbursts of violence and civil unrest. Hopefully, this violence would be contained to small pockets of the country and not become a full-on civil war. With Biden still being president and commander-in-chief, he's in control of the military. If things got out of hand, hopefully they'd be able to put a stop to it. And hopefully no bigger militias would form either. Now, even without any violence, Trump would...
Is Texas still doing that whole war shit they got going on? It was trying to create civil war, almost on a decade or age of fucking creating civil war. I know they had a whole bunch of shit going on in Texas, bro. Are they still doing that or they shut that shit down?
He idolized even more than he is today.
I'm pretty sure if they could shut that shit down, they could shut a whole bunch of Trump supporters down who about to fucking create civil war. I'm pretty sure,
Supporters would make him a martyr. And if some people on the left were happy that this happened, this would create an even bigger political divide across the country. The new Republican nominee would certainly use this as fuel to energize voters, turning him or her into an even stronger candidate. And more Trump supporters might be inspired to vote in the election now, even without him in the...
The truth is, behind closed doors, the P word became my secret sin at age 10.
race. But what if Trump wasn't dead, but incapacitated? Well, technically the rules and laws that are in place would still apply, but there could be more nuance. If there's a chance Trump comes back and he's healthy, then the party would likely debate whether or not he could continue as the nominee. They'd also consider if he'd be in good enough shape to be sworn in if he potentially became president. Now, the story is a little bit different.
I think if you have an attempt on you or had an attempt on you and a big situation like this, you should be out of the, situation to run and become president. Because if it could happen once, it could happen again. Like, you are standing on a big point in the world right now, in a big important position in the world right now to be trying to risk your life again to, do some shit that could potentially get you killed. So I say if he was to, been injured more than what he is, and he was to be hospitalized and came back a few months later, or whatever the case is, while the run was still going on, I say just sit your ass out, gang.
The assassination attempt happened after the RNC on July 15th. Donald Trump would be elected as their nominee, so what would happen if he were to die before the election? Well, you might think that his running mate would be automatically elevated, so his current choice for vice president, J.D. Vance, would become the presidential nominee, but that's not the case. The nominee for president would still be voted upon by the Republican Party. They might go back to square one and reconvene the National Convention, or they might just select a new candidate. There's a good chance that Trump's running mate would become the presidential nominee, but it's not a guarantee. Other party members might want to get into the mix. Now, the same rules would apply if Trump won the election on November 5th. That would make him the president-elect until Inauguration Day on January 20th. If he were to die between those dates, the vice president-elect doesn't automatically become president. Since Trump wouldn't officially be sworn in, the 25th Amendment, which allows the vice president to become president if the current one dies, wouldn't be applicable. Now, this got me thinking, could anything like this potentially delay the election? Well, technically it could, but it's incredibly unlikely. Election day is set by federal law, and it's November 5th. In order for this to change, it would need to be voted on in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. The president would need to sign off as well, but this can only happen if both parties are in agreement, which seems unlikely, especially given the political divide gripping the United States. Also, this would only delay the election by a couple of weeks. As the Constitution states, a president needs to be sworn in by January 20th of the following year.
Damn.
Failing that, there would be no president and things could get really ugly. Now, this is how the election would be handled, which boils down to a lot of bureaucracy and systems we already have in place. What happens next could be extreme civil unrest, violence, anger, or potential civil war. It's safe to say this would be a scary time for America, for a number of reasons. On the other hand, maybe a violent act like this might inspire Americans to put down their weapons and come together. But considering the political division, that seems unlikely.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a fun hypothetical scenario. Regardless of where you stand on the political spectrum, it would be a scary time for Americans and for people around the world. Let's just hope this assassination attempt doesn't lead to any further violent acts. I know I don't want to end up in a World War III.
Hell no.
But that sounds like a story for another What If.
I see what my dog did there. Alright, chat, that's it for today's video, bro. Great fucking video, man. That's when I tell you, What If, the What If channel makes you think about shit. Like I told you, I'm not a big political person, but the shit he was saying and the situation that could have unfolded if he did get, killed or severely injured and shit like that, takes a toll to where a person like me, like I said, who's not big on politics, to actually sit there and be like, damn, like you really gotta consider all this shit, especially if you live in the country you live in, especially with, the laws and the way shit going on now. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what happened during the presidential assassination with John F. Kennedy. I don't know how bad the world was. I don't know if we went under civil war for a short amount of time, or people, who sided with the party was, torturing shit and things of that nature. I don't know what happened. I could react to something like that and see what the fuck the world could have folded and compare it to this situation, but I don't think you compare the two. But still, it's a very interesting topic, bro. I hope he's in good health. Hope he's in good wealth, and I hope the election goes good. And I don't know who I'm voting for yet. I don't know if I will vote. Every vote counts and shit like that. But comment down below who you voting for. You feel what I'm saying? Election day is almost here. And yeah, bro. I'm pretty sure polls will be starting soon. I think. I'm not sure. I got the paper, but I did not vote. So, yeah, bro. Comment down below who you believe is gonna win. And yeah, bro. Take it easy. Love you guys. See you guys in the next video. Comment down below what other video you want me to react to, and we can make it happen, bro. If you like political videos or things like this, just let me know, and I'll continue making the videos for it. But I love you guys, chat. I'll see you guys in the next video, man. It's your boy, Benji, and I am out. If you did not watch the last video yesterday, go watch that right now. All right, peace.